All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Larry Rhodes, and I am Chief Instructor at Koikan Karate Do of San Luis Obispo. And I'm going to be teaching a few basic self-defense techniques. And in order to do that, it will be much more effective if I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 volunteers to come up and learn some good stuff. Fear not, it'll be fun. Yes, those two ladies right there. That man right over there.
Hey, come on up, don't be shy.
The lady over there, all right, now we're talking.
Come on down.
So we got some stairs right over here. Now while we're getting ready, I'll just tell you a little bit. So I teach karate. Now, karate is a Japanese martial art. And by definition, karate is a long-term undertaking. It's a discipline that teaches self-defense, but also teaches grace under pressure. It teaches you how to move, and it teaches you how to deal with stressful situations. To get good at karate takes many, many years, and it requires a special person to be willing to make that kind of commitment. Now, learning self-defense is something a little bit different. Its intent is to teach you some basic techniques in a very short period of time that might just save your life, or at least get you out of a tough spot. So although it derives many of the same ideas from karate, it's intended to be very short-term and is intended to teach you some simple skills that don't take a lot of time to learn. So rather than listening to me talk, it's better to see rather than hear what I'm talking about. So we're going to start very easily. And we have different levels of threat, from what I call the annoying jerk in the bar, all the way up to something that is potentially life-threatening. And you have to be able to evaluate that kind of a situation, because you don't want to kill somebody just because he's hitting on you in a bar. Probably. But you might need to kill somebody if they're trying to kill you. Now, we're not going to do any killing here this afternoon. I know, I'm sorry. Well, if you can, more power to you. But I will teach you a few basic things. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually this will work pretty well because we've got 3 men and 3 women. So we will take 3 pads. And for the most part, we're going to let the men be the annoying jerks and let you women. That's pretty easy, pretty natural. All right? Oops. And you can hang, oops, sorry, and I'll hang on to this one. That's right, I'm the other man. I forgot for a moment. Okay, now, we want you to be the attractive young woman. All right, so we're going to start very simple, and the way I put it, if somebody is behaving like a dog, you have to treat them like a dog, meaning to say, don't treat somebody with respect if they are behaving disrespectfully to you. You have to meet force with force. Now that doesn't mean that you have to be a jerk, but you have to make it very clear that you are not to be trifled with. So, for instance, so let me pick you. Come on, that's even better. All right. So, there are 3 elements to good effective self-defense. You have to know your weapons. And I don't mean necessarily a gun or a stun gun or pepper spray. Those are all good. But what if they don't work for you? What if you lose them and you left them at home? Most of the weapons I'm talking about are the weapons that you carry with you at all times. Your hands, your elbows, your teeth, your knees, your feet, your shins. These are many parts of your body that can be used effectively to do damage on somebody if necessary. But you also have to know your targets. Meaning to say that I can have an effective weapon, but if I don't target accurately, it's not going to be very effective. If I hit somebody hard in the chest, ready? I'm hitting it pretty hard. Not as hard as I can, but I'm not tapping it. Notice he's still standing because I'm hitting him in a spot that is hard and difficult to penetrate. So I'm going to have less luck if I pound somebody on the chest than if I pound them in the nose or hit them in the solar plexus or strike them in the groin. So these are some of the targets we're talking about. So you have to know your weapons, you have to know your targets. But the most important element is you have to know yourself. You have to know who you are and what you are about emotionally. And this is especially important in the case where you are put into a threatening situation. If suddenly somebody comes up and attempts to grab you or starts hanging onto your arm or is just being a jerk, but especially in a threatening situation, you're going to respond to that emotionally, and in many cases you're going to pull back into yourself. And if I have evil intent, that's what I'm relying on. Because if I can get you to give up emotionally, then I have a better chance of controlling you and doing what I want. So you have to know yourself. You have to understand what is going to happen when I go like this. Because you have to capture yourself, come back into yourself so that you can deal with that situation. So don't be a victim, be proactive. All right. So as I say, there are different levels. I can be just the annoying guy in a bar and you just want to get rid of the guy. Or I come up to you and I go, hey baby, you're really looking good, yeah. So what would you do in a situation like that? What? Just tell me. I mean, would you put up with it? Or would you say, please stop? Or would you be more assertive about it?
Well, if you touch me, I would probably just push you away.
Okay, that's a good start. So she's saying, push me away. But there are different ways to push. So first off, the first thing is you don't want me to get in and start touching you without your permission. So if you see me coming at you, the first thing you're going to need to do is take a step back. And as I say, if I'm acting like a dog, treat me like a dog. Give me hand signals. I come up to you, you're going to step back and say, stop. Maintain that space between you and me. That's the first level. If I am a half-decent human being, I will take the hint and stop right there. Now, I might persist because I think you're hot and I want to do something, but at least you have set some boundaries. And that's a very good starting point. But let's say, okay, so let's even try that. So you're going to just say, stop. So you've got body language, and you also have voice. You have to have command authority. So you can't be, oh, please don't. You have to be very assertive. Even if you don't feel it, you have to fake it. Fake it till you make it. So if I come in on you, and it's obvious that my intention is to start draping myself, good, okay, now, was that enough, do you think, to stop me? It sounded a little hesitant to me.
Maybe not.
Stop! Yeah. Almost like a cop, or as I said, a dog trainer. So one more.
Stop.
Better. Okay, good. Now, number 2. If that doesn't work, then we might have to become a little more aggressive. So now we're going to stop. Make eye contact. Make it very clear that you are not tentative, but you are very affirmative in your intention. Because again, a jerk is going to respond to authority more than to tentativeness. Let's say that doesn't work. Let's say that gentle push isn't effective. So what's next? You said you're not strong enough. So I'll ask you what I ask all my little kids. What weighs more, your arm or your body? Your body, right. So you want to get your body behind the action. So if you need to push somebody away, it's not going to be like this. It's going to be like this, where I'm pushing with my body, all right? So we'll practice that, and then we're going to move. We're going to start ratcheting things up. At this stage, even though technically, legally, I have just committed assault by putting my hands on this person and pushing him. He could sue me if he wanted to, although the judge would laugh him out of court. But sometimes I have to be willing to assault somebody who is assaulting me spiritually. That might not be enough, but we're going to start with that, get a chance to practice, and then we're going to ratchet things up until we're actually doing some physical damage, because we got about 20 more minutes to go. First, I should get your name since you've been so kind. So, Gretchen, it's a pleasure to meet you. This is Brandon, Katie, Patricia, pleasure. Carl, do I know you? All right, so this is one of my senior students here, Mr. Carl Grisandi. All right, so Gretchen, Brandy? Oh, actually, Brandon, that's right. Gretchen, Patricia. Wait. Katie, Gretchen, Katie. Yeah. Alzheimer's is a wonderful thing. All right. So actually, we don't need this first step. A hand firm on the chest, but let's practice the first thing. And we're not all mic'd up, but maybe we'll do a little profile so you folks can see what's going on. So let's stand this way. And we can so you're going to face Carl, because he's going to be the annoying jerk in the bar. All right, so first off, all right, so you might be standing a little more casually like this. And then if I come in on you, it's like, hey, baby, right, so first thing, so don't do the push first. Let's try the verbal command. Take the step back, establish your space first, and then go from there. So I come in, you gotta, right, put your hand up, you gotta command me. Remember, I'm a dog. I respond to very low-level commands because I'm dealing from a very low level of mentality. All right, so I come in on you.
Stop.
Right. Good. I like that. All right. Maybe even up in my face so I can see that hand. Now, let's say I push through that hand. So I push through the hand. Now what? Right. Good. Nice. Now you got to place that hand right on my chest. Okay. Now push back. Okay. Now get moving. So really keep moving. Right. There. Good. Don't push me off the stage. But that's what we're looking for. So that's a very good example because Gretchen got her body behind the action. So that's step one. Let's hope, actually that's step two. Step one is verbal command with body language. Step two is a hand on the chest with the pushback. Let's say that's still not enough for me to get the hint. So now you're going to have to start doing something that's uncomfortable or painful to get through my thick skull that you don't want anything to do with me. Next step. 2 fingers, not 1, 2. And what we're going to do is you're going to take those 2 fingers and put them right into what we call the sternal notch, right below the trachea and right above the top of the sternum here is a naked spot that exposes the throat, that exposes the esophagus. That exposes the trachea. The esophagus is behind. You're going to take those 2 fingers and you're going to jab in that throat and push back. Because virtually nobody can resist that. It tells your potential assailant 2 things. You're not to be messed with, and you seem to know something about how to take care of yourself. So it's here and push back. And notice he's moving back because if he doesn't, it's that much more uncomfortable. All right, so let's try that. So you're going to be right up here. Now you're going to want to have to kind of toughen that throat up. And now, be careful that you don't rest your fingers on the sternum. You want to isolate those fingers. You're right. And you want to keep the fingers straight and the rest of the hand clear so that it goes right there. Okay? Okay, exactly. So let's move back a little bit so that you'll have some distance to travel. So now I'm getting in your face. You've tried to push me out of the way. I say, oh, come on, baby. I just want to get to know your name. All right, and push. Good. Both. Or you have 2 fingers? You have to have both fingers. Okay, good. That was good. Do it again. Let's try one more time. Okay, go for it. All right. Ah, good. Nice. All right. So you can see. That's perfect. So now we're at a stage where, unless the guy is a complete idiot, he's going to leave you alone. But let's say he is a complete idiot. Or let's cut to the chase, and instead of this just being an uncomfortable social circumstance, let's get a little more aggressive. And we're gonna break temporarily from physical striking to just escaping. What are you gonna do if I grab you by the wrist? How would you get away from that? That's pretty good. Okay, you seem to know a little bit. So we'll fine-tune that. And let me show you how most people do this. And there are three different grabs to the arm. One is what I call the mirror grab, because it's the same side. One is a cross arm grab, where he's grabbing with the other arm. Actually, it would be this, like that. Or both hand grab. So each one has a different way of escaping. So the first is, we call this the gate. The thumb is the weakest point in a grip. And the natural instinct on people, if somebody grabs them by the wrist, especially when it's clear that I'm taking you where I want to, the natural reaction is to pull. Let me go! Let me go! Well, I'm just playing into his strength, because he has a strong grip with his hand. The weak part of the grip is between the thumb and the index finger. So I need to expose that gate. And I do it this way. I bring this hand up like I'm making a muscle. I keep the elbow tight to my torso. And then I move my entire body back. And I don't care how strong he is and how tightly he holds, go ahead. He will not be able to resist that escape. So we're going to try that one next. And we'll pick on Gretchen again. So if I grab you like this, so there are 3 steps. First, take your hand and bring it up. So this hand here, you're going to turn it up, right? Turn it if you can so the thumb is in, because that makes the arm narrow. Now keep it like you're making a muscle. Keep that arm rigid. You want to step 1 foot behind. It doesn't matter, but I would normally step the opposite foot behind, right? Exactly. And then what you're going to do, you're not going to pull the arm. You're going to keep the arm rigid. And you're going to just take the whole body and move back at once like that. So I'm going to grab you first. Step 1. Right. So still don't even jank. Just pretend, act like the arm is paralyzed. So grab me with the other hand. With the other hand for now. I come here like this, and I do not move this arm at all. The only reason the arm moves... Yeah, exactly. So there we go. So we have to move kind of quickly because we have a lot of ground to cover. Did you get a chance to practice? Okay. Now, next. Now we're going to get even more aggressive. What if it's clear that this person really intends to do you harm? Again, I never want to hurt somebody, but I will hurt somebody if they intend to hurt me. So we're going to do a few basic techniques, and then we'll be finished. Now, to throw a punch is an advanced skill. When I teach personal self-defense, I really don't teach how to punch. If I hit him hard in the face, which I won't do, I can break bones in my hand. My hands are conditioned because I've trained for years, but the average person, not so much the case. So for the most part, we don't teach punching for basic self-defense. We teach simpler skills, what we call a hammer fist. Everybody knows how to throw a ball. That's basically what a hammer fist is, throwing a ball motion like this. And notice, all the hip action that comes into that technique. So now there are some elements that come into making these techniques effective. First off, I want to make my hand like a rock. Meaning to say, if I hit him with a soft hand, it's going to possibly do more damage to me than it is to him. If I make my hand really hard, I'm less likely to injure myself, and I'm more likely to injure him. But once again, I'm hitting him in the chest because I don't want to put him in the hospital. But if I hit him in the nose, I hit him across the chin, I hit him on the neck. These are all vital targets that you can strike. And we're not striking just once, we're striking repeatedly. And the whole idea with fighting, with defending yourself, there's one critical element. One element with 2 aspects, if you'll beg my indulgence. You have to choose your moment. Again, I hope never to have to fight with somebody. But if I do, I'm willing to do so. But I have to choose my moment. And especially in the case of a woman being assaulted by a man, if I grab you from behind and start dragging you, you might not have an opportunity right then and there to defend yourself because your arms are tied up, you're immobilized. That doesn't mean that you have to give up, but you can fake giving up to make me let my guard down. Then you choose your moment to act, because one of the most important weapons that you have at your disposal is the element of surprise. I'm not expecting you to fight back, especially because you've kind of gotten limp when I've grabbed a hold of you. So I'm going, ha, I've got her now. So my guard is let down. You choose your moment, but as soon as you've done that, you have now put me on notice that you are being uncooperative. So the key here is that you have to finish what you start. So if you decide that you're going to start pounding on somebody, you better make sure that you finish what you start, because if you don't finish it, I will. And, it's not pleasant to talk about these kinds of things, but you have to be realistic. All right, so we're going to practice a couple techniques. So, hammer fist strike. And I've already asked the question, but I ask it again. What weighs more, your arm or your body? Anybody out there? Any smart people out there? Anybody? I guess we don't have any smart people in the audience. What weighs more, your arm or your body? That is a smart woman. That's true. So we want to get that body moving behind the technique. So this kind of stuff, if you hold the pad up, that's going to hurt. That's going to do damage. So see how much I'm turning into these techniques. It doesn't take a lot of skill to do that. And I don't have to be really accurate. If he's being a jerk, I start doing this about 5 or 6 times. And trust me, he's not going to be a very happy guy. All right, so let's practice these and we'll do a couple more and then we'll be done. So watch your balance. Drop down a little bit. You're going to hold this right here. And you're going to just rain down like you're throwing balls. All right? Good. You can even hit it harder. Wind up even more. Get those hips turning even more. Good. Nice. Good. Now, I'm going to help you get even more power. Take that arm and bring that elbow up. So now you not only have your body, but you also have your arm and that elbow snap. So you actually got your hips, your arm, your elbow, and your wrist. So all those parts come into making an effective technique, and you put more power into that technique. Go ahead. Yeah. So you're hitting with this part of the hand like it's a hammer. Exactly. Right? So bring those elbows up. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Okay, oh good, all right. So bring this hand up. That's where you want it, okay? Now, just let it rip. Bring it all the way up. There! Now see the difference? See the difference? Okay, do it again. Good. All right, one more. Good one more. All right, ow, that even hurt. Okay, we lost one of our participants. All right, now, you're not leaving, are you? Stick around. All right, this will be even better. So you pair up with her, and that way I can finish up with just having you go back and forth. All right, that's one technique. And we're going to finish with a knee, but we're going to do, oh, you like the knees, all right.
No, he was saying he's like, I hit really hard. I'm like, you told me to.
Okay, we want you to hit hard. All right, palm heel strike is another good one. Because once again, you're getting your hand out of the way. You're hitting somebody with the butt end of your arm. Now this is very effective. In fact, hold that down for a moment. So he's crowding me. And he's got me pinned. Alright, please leave me alone, please leave me alone. Alright, boom! Alright, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jam this arm right up the center axis and shove it all the way through and knock his teeth out. And once again, hip turn, full penetration, lots of power and energy. And by the way, one thing I have left out is the effectiveness of using your voice. It's going to do a couple things. It's going to help yourself generate more energy with your technique, and it's also going to enter my unconscious, the assailant. If I'm hitting somebody, I'm going, no, 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 no. That's going to be pretty impressive, and it's going to communicate to this guy This is not something that I want to deal with. All right, so let's practice that palm heel strike. And once again, you don't want to wind up. You're going to go right from here, and as quickly as you can, you're going to thrust straight up. Now, I want you to hold that so you don't lose any teeth, all right? Am I still mic'd? Okay. Hold it right here. So you take your other arm and put it right across the top. So that's his chin, basically. So instead of holding it and showing him that you're going to do anything aggressive. So I'm the wall. He's coming in on you. He's crowding you. And keep your hand right here. And then from 0 to 60, the hand is going to come right up the pike and right into the chin like that. Okay, go for it. Right. Start from your hip. Pretend that your hip is throwing the technique. So the first thing that's going to move is your hip, and it's going to go straight up like that. Good. Do it again. Right? Nice. Now don't push. Snap. Because it's got to be a hard impact. The whole idea is I want to shock him so much that he's like this, and you can either get away or continue your counter assault. Okay, give it one more shot. Good, nice, that was awesome. All right, last one. How do we do over here? Okay, good. All right, don't hurt him. All right, okay. All right, last one. We should have brought one. Right, exactly. And you can even lock your hands together. Right, exactly. And then take a step back. Good. Pull him into it. Step back deeper. Nice. There you go. That's beautiful. So notice, I have a 10-year-old student who does this with me, and he knocks me off balance. Because it's very, when somebody's pulling on you and whacking you in the torso, it knocks you off balance. This is a little kid. So try it one more time. Nice. Pull him in. Pull him harder. There. Beautiful. Good. All right. We have one more 2-minute demo. We're a little over. All right. Last thing. No noggin today. No takedowns. What are you going to do if I reach and start choking you? All right. Nice try. Good. Now, there are all kinds of ways to escape a choke. And I'll show you a couple. Okay, do that to me. Now, here's what you try to do. You try to push up. The key is not to push up. So really grab a hold of me like you're choking. I mean, really let me have it. Choke me to death. So what did I do that was different from you? I pushed down and pushed away. So what I'm doing, if you reach and grab, is I'm weakening your grip by pushing in and then pushing you away like that. And then I can choose to either take off and run or to come back and counter strike. That's one way. This is even more effective. Reach and choke. Boom, like that. So here's the key. Reach and grab. Arm comes up. Body pivots. That breaks the grip, throws her off balance, and sets her up for a very effective counter strike because my arm can just slide right up that arm and right into the chin like that. So try that with this dirty, nasty guy. All right. Nice. Okay, so you really want to trap it though. So you're going to take your arm and you're going to reach and grab like that, right? So turn all at once. One pivoting move. You're going to go all in one motion. Nice. Don't hit him in the chin, but look back like you were going to. Just like that. All right. You got to turn even more. There, okay? Kind of keep your eye on him so you can see. So watch. Yeah, you didn't have the benefit of seeing. So I'm going to go this way like this. See how it's trapped his arms, throws him off balance, and then all I need to do is turn back. Bam, like this. That's going to pretty much finish just about anybody. All right? So, Patricia, Gretchen. Katie, oh God, here. Hit me once. Yeah. Very bad with names. All right, thank you very much. We have a booth in the main building. I appreciate your indulgence and attention. I teach self-defense classes. I have a workshop next Saturday. If anybody is interested, come see us. And I also, of course, teach traditional martial arts, which is a whole different kettle of fish. Thank you, Brandon, for your help. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you, folks.